Hi, Jeff Kelly here. Um, Today I wanted to do a video on guns that I've purchased because I saw them in movies that I'd grown up with. There's a gentleman on YouTube that does the same thing, and his name's Batjack JW. And I was inspired by him to go ahead and do it myself. The movies that I enjoyed that I'm going to show you the guns that I have from today is Our Man Flint in 1966, Bullet 1968, Dirty Harry 1971, The Getaway 1972, and then Magnum Force and The Laughing Policeman, both in 1973. Wanted to show you this one here. This is a Savage 1907 32, and it was used in the credits of the 1966 picture Our Man Flint, and you can see this gun firing in the credits and shooting at a girl, and I thought it was pretty unusual. So this was about, there were some guns used in the movie, but Derek Flint didn't use really any guns himself, and this was the most unusual one that I could think of being in that movie. So to get it started off, 1966, Our Man Flint, 1907, 32 ACP Savage pistol. So here's the barrel of the Savage, and here's it being fired, and there's the girl getting shot by it. And now let's take a look at Bullet. This is probably one of my favorite pictures. In 1968, Bullet came out. In 1966, the Diamondback was issued. It was done on a D-frame detective special, and you can see that the grips on this were changed for the movie, and these were Colt Cobra grips or detective special grips. The ones that have the flat bottoms right here were the ones that originally came on the gun. So this is the one that Steve McQueen used in Bullet. And then Johnny Ross, the Nemesis, of course, used a 45 ACP, and you can see him on the plane with that and shooting at Bullet with that 45 ACP. And then Ice Pick Mike used the 1897 shotgun to kill his victims of the hit that they put on the phony Johnny Ross. So those were the three guns used in Bullet that I enjoyed. And so let's go on to the next one. And here's Ice Pick Mike with his Winchester model 1897 doing the hit and then pulling it apart. And then in the auto chase, here he is getting it out and loading it up. And it's a good picture of the side with the hammer and shooting it out the window of the Charger. So there's Ice Pick Mike. And here's Johnny Ross with his 45 automatic trying to shoot Frank Bullet. And this is the first time Steve McQueen pulls out the Colt Diamondback. And there he is aiming it and firing it at Johnny Ross. And that's a very famous scene. And then the end of the picture where he's got it on the bench there. You can see the rounded grips that I was speaking of. And so that's those are the guns and bullet. Okay, so these are the Dirty Harry guns in the movie. Of course, Clint Eastwood's 6.5-inch 44 Magnum, the most powerful handgun in the world, is the first one we will look at. And then Clint, being an interested person in the most powerful guns in the world, if you remember, he picked the .458 Win Mag to shoot the Zodiac Killer with. And so here is the .458 Win Mag. And that is quite a handful, as seen in the picture. To show you the size of the bullet in the .458. That's the bullet on the left, and 45 ACP round on the right. So it packs a great deal of punch. And then, of course, the third gun was the Zodiac Killer's gun that he took from the liquor store guy. And that was a Walther P38. So there are the guns from Dirty Harry. So here's Clint Eastwood with his .44 Magnum revolver. And here's the .458 Winchester Magnum that he used. Here he is crouching down after taking a few shots at the Zodiac Killer. And then here's the poor liquor store owner that the Zodiac Killer took the P38 Walther from. And then here is the Zodiac Killer with the Walther. So here's the big one, the Getaway, 1972, with Steve McQueen and Ali MacGraw and Al Letterly. This first one here is the Colt 1903 32 caliber. This is the gun that Ali MacGraw shot Ben Johnson with in his office. And then, of course, we have the .45, which Steve McQueen used throughout the picture. And then the 6-inch Colt Python, which Al Letterly used as a crutch to get up off the knoll there where Steve McQueen shot him. And then strangely, when he was in the hotel, the Python turned into a Colt Trooper. And then back into a Python. So those were the guns used in the Getaway. And of course, I've done quite a few videos on this, the high standard 1200 shotgun that Steve McQueen used in that to blow up the police car and all. So 1972, Steve McQueen, the Getaway, lots of interesting guns in that picture. So here's where Ali MacGraw's using the 1903 Colt 32 to kill Ben Johnson. And then here's Steve McQueen shooting Al Vetterli. And then here he is asking for the shotgun very nicely with the .45 automatic. Here's Al getting up after being shot using his Colt Python as a crutch. There's the Python on his chest, and then it magically turns into a Colt Trooper when he drops it on the ground. And then here's Steve McQueen in the gun shop, sporting goods store, asking for the shotgun and then taking it nicely. And here he is shooting up the police car with that high standard 12 gauge shotgun. And then here's the remnants of the police car after he gets through. And then, of course, Magnum Force, 1973. And you have your 44 Magnum with Dirty Harry, and then you have the police officers 4-inch Colt Python. And those are the two guns used in Magnum Force, other than the NFA models that they had. But that was kind of quick, but they didn't have a lot of guns in that movie. So let's go on to the next one. This is another one that Bat Jack JW recommended. And I just wanted to include that 4-inch Python that he likes so much of his own. So here's Magnum Force, an article in Guns Magazine 1973. I thought I'd throw that in there just for fun. And then here's Clint shooting the 4-inch Python, but that's about all that can be said about that. And I happen to have had a couple of these. These are Model 15 Smith & Wessons that Walter Matthau used in the Laughing Policeman. I had two, so I just thought I'd throw them up there and let you take a look at those. But that was the star of the show back in 1973. So I guess that's it. Wanted to wrap it up with the Laughing Policeman and show you how fun it is to collect movie guns. I hope you enjoyed it, and maybe you'll start collecting them too. Thanks a lot. Like, share, and subscribe.